Still getting over COVID. Just as I went to start, it was like, still trying to get my air. Hi, welcome to the Whitey White Guy Show. I'm Whitey, and today I'm going to talk about the discussion taking place around the film Matrix Resurrection, which I haven't seen. So I'm not going to be reviewing the film because I haven't seen it, but I'm just going to talk about what I'm hearing. And so with this film, the first question we all probably have is, do we need this? What is technically a sequel? I don't know. In some ways, it's kind of like a reboot, but they only got some of the cast back when a lot of people saying that's lacking. So Hugo Weaving isn't back as Agent Smith, and from what I'm hearing, that's not a good thing. Lawrence Fishburne is not back as Morpheus. That's not good. And those are two really difficult people to replace, just as actors in general. And the actors they got probably aren't bad actors, but those are some tough shoes to fill. And two guys who play pretty unique characters. So that's going to hurt your film if you can't get those guys back. Neo's back, but I'm not hearing anybody talk about how blown away they are by Keanu Reeves' performance. They're all talking about how there's a lack of physicality in his performance. And one guy was saying, like, the action scenes, it's mostly him just waving his hands around and blowing people back and stuff like that. And he's like, this guy did John Wick. And it's like, how long ago was that? It wasn't terribly long ago, but at Keanu Reeves' age, it's no different than an athlete. A linebacker's playing great football at 33 and 34. At 35 and 36 is too old. It's how fast that happens. So Keanu Reeves is in great shape, but time comes for us all, my friends. I'm here to tell you all about it. Getting old stinks. And so maybe Keanu's just too old to be doing this month after month after month, doing all these shoots and do all this physicality. And so that's a big part of the visuals are a big part of the Matrix. The first one's the only one I care for. After that, it falls right into the septic tank, in my opinion. I know people debate me on that. No one's going to debate me. Everybody, I think, will agree the first one's the best one. In my opinion, the first one's the only decent one. After that, it's poo. But people will debate me on the poo part. But the first one's the best one. There's no debating that. So the problem becomes if you're going to do anything Matrix related and have it have that level of physicality that it's known for, that makes the Matrix, you got to get Keanu Reeves in there, and you got to get it done now because he's not far from the wheelchair, kids, or at least the rocking chair. I'll be polite about it. I like Keanu. I'm not trying to trash on him at all. But Keanu Reeves isn't a phenomenal actor. He just isn't. He's not a great thespian. He's a charismatic actor. He's got good natural charisma, timing. He understands where he needs to be in a scene emotionally and all those things. He's just not a guy who gives these great big speeches that, you're just spellbound by how phenomenal his performance was. He's no Heath Ledger. He works in certain characters really well. Point Break, I thought he was really good for that role. I could go on John Wick, of course, he works for that, but his physicality is a big part of his success as an actor. So if we're going to take advantage of that, you got to do it quick because he's getting older, and so we got to get this ball rolling. But not everybody wanted to come back on board, and if you watch the film, apparently it's understandable why. But also, too, The Matrix really is a self-encompassed story. I mean, 1, 2, and 3, bing, bing, boom, and there's really nowhere to go from here. They won. So apparently, a new Matrix is made, a new bad guy starts it or something. Not that I ever understood the story anyway. It's very allegorical. It's all about the Jesus and a lot of metaphors, a lot of comparisons. So it was never exact science. But Neil Patrick Harris is the new engineer who creates the new Matrix, which I'm conflicted with that one because I like Neil Patrick Harris, but he's not. And again, like Ken Reeves, I don't take Neil Patrick Harris seriously. He's a really funny guy for Harold and Kumar, How I Met Your Mother, Starship Troopers. I'm really not familiar. He's fucking Doogie Howser. He's a good witty actor. He does wit really well. He's not a good the main protagonist actor, the guy behind it all. I just don't see it. And Heath Ledger, maybe I could be. We've been wrong before. We'll see how that goes. And then somebody I've never heard of is the new Agent Smith, so the primary henchman, and apparently he's no Hugo Weaving. That's what everybody's saying. So the cast is kind of hit and miss, but Keanu Reeves is at the heart of all things here. He's Neo. And so if he can't do the physicality anymore, that's not good for your movie because that's a big part of the Matrix. So I understand why it had to get done if it was going to get done. It had to get done now if it was going to get done. But it then begs the question, should you waited 5 more years and then replaced Neo with a new Neo if Keanu can't do the physicality anymore? And if he can do the physicality, why didn't you? Because that's kind of key. So it's sounding like a classic case of George Lucas and everybody the freak else who had some hit film 30 years ago, and it's time to bring that back, and they don't know why they were a success in the first place. Like the people who created this, some trilogy that was, what was it? Raiders of the Lost, Indiana Jones. The people, Spielberg and George Lucas, who made Indiana Jones, when they made the fourth one, clearly didn't understand what it was people liked about Indiana Jones. And as we keep seeing this, it's like the people who go to make a new one 30 years later, it's like, did somebody else step into your body and make this pile of crap? Like, what did you get 30 years ago that you don't get anymore? It's so weird. The guys who made Dumb and Dumber 2 are the same dudes, but you wouldn't know that watching Dumb and Dumber 2. It's like, this keeps happening. So I don't know, that just comes with getting old. You have kids and grandkids, and now you're grandpa, so you don't understand where you were when you were spitting full of hormones and everything. I don't know, but it has that same feel. Now, it's also half of the Wachowski now sisters. Oh, sorry. Maybe it's the coof. Everything smells wrong. Tastes bad. I'm just a day removed from COVID. So anyway, Lana Wachowski directed this, who directed the first one. And I'm not here, nobody's singing praise about the direction. Although from the trailers and that, it doesn't look awful. It does have to look spectacular. It's the Matrix. So, yeah, at the same time, it's been a while since we got any good work out of these two ladies. So, I don't know. It seems like after the whole sex change thing, things went south. Women don't know how to direct. So anyway, it doesn't. Nobody's talking about good direction. Nobody's talking about blown away by spectacle. Which again, it's the Matrix. That the Matrix came out in like '99 and was the new tech. It was highfalutin. It was state of the art. People were blown away by the visuals, things we hadn't seen before. You go into the bullet time and everything else, but also the jumping off of skyscrapers and flying through the air had been, whereas before it was like Superman real corny, flying straight ahead into the camera, and this is clearly just shit backdrop or whatever. This stuff looked good. They were zooming through the air, and so if it's going to be the Matrix, man, you really got to show us something, and instead, I guess not. So you don't have the great fight scenes with great choreography. You don't have great special effects blowing our minds. And from when I only care for the first one, and I don't care about CG and special effects. Never have. I'm not going to start. I like story. I'm a story guy, and the story was interesting, and what was being said was interesting. I'm a politics guy. I like the politics behind it. I like the allegory and the metaphor to what was going on in real life. That to me was really cool. And then the second and third one was like poop. There was like a lot of like was someone pulling their ass cheeks open and pooping. That's what that felt like. But the first one was intriguing. Yeah, Keanu Reeves can't act, and the I don't care about the graphics and that, but the story was just interesting. You know. So from what I'm hearing in this one, it's not the case. It's poorly written. It's crap. So this feels like everything else that's going on right now. It's just we had to do it. Whether the studio and then other people are saying that if you make a film or a trilogy, if you the original creator don't do something with it in a given timeline, the studio has the right to take the property and make more films. And so Lana Wachowski said, "Well, I'm gonna do something with it," and must have just pulled that script right out of the butthole. Because nobody's singing this. Everybody's saying it's crap. I'm hearing no positivity about this movie. So that's unfortunate, but I've never been. I like the first one, so I didn't want to see this film. I didn't expect anything good from this film. This is what I thought would happen, and from the trailer, this is what it looked like. It didn't look like they had somebody had some great idea. What if and then there was another Matrix, and then this, and oh, that is so good. We got to do it. Instead, there were legal stuff. If you don't do something with the property the studio's going to, okay, well then I'll do something. Poop, 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 poop. Here's the script. Let's go make this pile of crap. Oh, what? The people with self-respect didn't come back. Hugo Weaving's like, no. Lawrence Fishburne's like, there's no fucking way. We have self-respect. We're not doing it. So they didn't come back. So Neil Patrick Harris. Okay. So yeah, it smells like poo. It tastes like poo. Feels like poo. It's probably poo. I'll see you guys later. Cheers.